What is going on? Welcome to another TubeBuddy live stream. My name is Nick, and I'm going to be telling you today how to find a niche on YouTube and how to turn that niche into something that can generate income for you so that you can keep doing your hobby, so that you can keep creating content, and basically you can, have something that kind of supports what it is that you are trying to do. Before we get started here, I want to go ahead and say what is going on to Andrew Can, who is going to be moderating the chat today. I want to say what is going on to Cat Laco's Garage, star23.com. What is going on? Doing it with Jason. What is going on, my friend? Nice to see you. I think you had a birthday, so I want to say happy birthday to Doing It with Jason. Creator Fundamentals in the house. What is going on? Adam Yaboa, iFund Chris. What is going on? So today we are talking about, like I mentioned a second ago, we are talking about how to find a niche on YouTube and how to actually turn that niche into something that you enjoy and something that is actually going to help you generate an income to help you support your hobby. And, it might be just generating, because we all have different things we're trying to do. It might be generating just enough to help you, get that next camera. It might be something that helps you generate just enough to maybe travel to another place in order to be able to film the content that you have or something like that. So that's what we're going to be going over today. So the first thing I want to start this whole thing with is actually defining what a niche is. So a niche or niche, depending on where you're from, how it is that you want to say it, is basically denoting or relating to products, services, or interest that, and here's the important part, that appeal to a small, specialized section of the population, right? So basically what a niche is it basically is to where you're creating content for a specific group of people, right? So on YouTube, we would take that and we would say, okay, we are creating a Andrew's digging the target background there on that graphic. But basically what it is we build our channels around a topic set so that we are making content for a specific group of people. So that's basically how you frame what a niche is. Now, why is a niche important? A niche is important for a bunch of different reasons. Here's a few. One is a niche helps you define your audience, and that is extremely important because if you don't know who you're making content for, then, you're just kind of throwing a bunch of darts out there, so to speak, and you're not really making content for anyone. But when you know who it is that you're making content for, that helps you define the type of content that you're making as well. It also helps you get more video views, which is something I know everybody in the chat wants. And it also helps you get more watch time and more session time on your channel. Now, the reason that it helps you get more watch time and more session time and more views on your channel is because if you look at this graphic right here, at the very top, right, let's say somebody comes to your channel and they watch video A, right? They watch video A up here, and when they're watching video A, because they go to your channel page and they came in from video A, they say, okay, well, I'm going to go to their channel page. I'm going to see what else this person has on their YouTube channel. So they come and they see what else you have on your YouTube channel, and what do you know? Video B right there is also something that they're interested in. So then they watch video B, and what do you know? They also have video C and video D that they're also interested in. So what you just did is you turned that one viewer into 4 views. You turned the watch time that you get from them into a lot more time, and you extended the session time on your channel because you had additional content or a whole channel worth of content that was specifically related to the interests of the person that came in and were watching your video. Now, how this works on the other side is if they come into video A and that video is nailing it for the type of content that they are looking for. Video A is, it's a home run. They're like, hey, this video is fantastic. I'm going to go to the channel page and I'm going to see what else this person has to offer. They go to your channel page and they say, okay, well, video A is about the topic that I'm interested in, but they also have this like vlog thing that they're doing, and they also have this this other thing about, how to do this other thing that isn't really related, and they have like this thought video down here, and you create that disconnect, and because of that, you are only getting that one view, that one amount of watch time on there, and you're basically losing your advantage as far as turning them into a subscriber. Because here's the thing, on that first graph that I pulled up on this one right here, when you're nailing it across the board in a niche, right, what you're doing is you are creating the opportunity for them to watch more of your content, which also creates the opportunity for them to engage more in your content. You're increasing your chances for likes, you're increasing your chances for comments, and you're increasing your chances for that thing that it seems everybody is after, which is the subscribe. Because if they watch one of your videos, maybe they'll subscribe, maybe they won't. They watch two of your videos, okay, well, hey, this person's making consistent content. This is stuff that I'm into. Maybe I'm going to hit the subscribe button. They watch a third video, hey, they're into your stuff. They're going to subscribe to your YouTube channel. Now, back on the why a niche is important. In addition to the things that I just listed, it also helps you with community integration. And what community integration is basically, let's say that you make content around a specific topic. Your channel is all based around a specific topic. That gives you the opportunity to go into Facebook, to go into Reddit, to go into different forums online and make connections with people to where you become a resource within that community, and you are the person or within that group of people that makes videos for YouTube within that specific niche that you operate in. And by doing that, what happens is you become known for that. And since you become known for that, when you're not paying attention to that group, you're out doing something else. Somebody makes a post and they're looking for something specific. Let's say, an example I like to give for this one is, let's say that you make videos about playing the ukulele, right? You train people, you teach people how to play the ukulele on YouTube. And because of that, you are in all these different instrument groups on Facebook, and you're in the specific ukulele groups and things like that. Somebody comes in and they say, hey, I want to learn how to play Yankee Doodle Dandy on the ukulele. Then because you have integrated yourself in the community, you have people in that community that are going to bat for you. And they're saying, hey, you know what? John over there at, how to play ukulele, he has an awesome version of Yankee Doodle Dandy that you need to check out. Here's a link to his channel. Here's a link to his video. And basically, by working within the niche, you've created other people that can then refer you to the rest of the group and things like that. And you become known within that group as well, which is also carries its own advantages. In addition to that, you also increase your chances of sponsorship opportunity, right? Because if you're put yourself in the shoes of somebody that's going to give money to somebody for promotion, right? If somebody goes to your channel page and making millions with Yankee Doodle Dandy says Zingcat, absolutely. So if you are a brand, you're somebody that has a website, or you have a product of some kind, and you're trying to get that product into the hands of an influencer so that they can put it out there and that they can send traffic your way, they can put it in front of their audience to spread awareness of what it is that you're doing or whatever. If your content on your channel is similar content, right? If you're niched in that field, then what happens is they look at your channel and they say, oh, okay, this is a great fit. Almost everything on this channel has something to do with what it is that we're doing. Now, if you are doing vlog content, as an example, Evan Carmichael in the house. What is going on, Evan? I just want to say, I'm going to stop this real quick, and I want to say, Evan Carmichael, congratulations on the 1 million subscribers, my man. That is absolutely awesome. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so within the niche, so let's say that you have like a vlog channel, right? So the same thing can still apply there, but your niche is kind of like yourself, and it's being within the vlog, and it's being that, you're making that connection with people to where, like with what I do, or like with what Evan does as an example, he's in the entrepreneurial niche. And so because of that, brands that are looking to reach entrepreneurs, they know to go and reach out to Evan because he is in front of a ton of entrepreneurs, and all of his content supports the entrepreneurs community. So that's a great example of that one. So another thing with the niche is, if you happen to, now this doesn't necessarily work. I mean, it does if you are making vlogs or something like that. You can apply this still in terms of merchandise and things like that based around the niche that you're operating in. But if you are operating within a niche, it also helps you in terms of product creation. And that could be merchandise, that can be courses if you're doing any type of training material or anything like that. Basically, let's do this in merch, because this will have like a more widespread, this will have a wider net, so to speak. So if you're operating within a niche, then the people that are watching your content, that tribe that you're building around what it is that you're doing, if you are operating within a niche, you can do a merch store based on not just putting your logo up there. It's not just, hey, promote my stuff, but you can make an entire store based around the interests of the people that are watching your content. So if there's like an inside joke thing or certain language that people use within that niche, you can make products around that. You can use a service like Spreadshirt or something like that, so that you can make those types of products for the people that are interested in the topics that you cover. Now, one thing to keep in mind, like I was saying with the charts here, is with niche, the traffic flows, right? Without the niche, the traffic goes, right? So that's how I want you to remember that. With a niche, traffic flows. Without the niche, traffic goes. So how do you actually find a niche? How do you go about finding a niche that you can continually do long-term, something sustainable on YouTube? The first thing that I really want to stress is that YouTube is a long game, right? YouTube, just like all the other social media outlets, it's a long game. Like, trying to build your influence in any way, shape, or form on the internet or in the real world either, it's a long game. It's a long process. It takes time, right? So you have to be able to commit to that time. And in order to commit to that time, you have to make sure, and I cannot stress this enough, you have to make sure that you're creating content around things that you can actually enjoy, because YouTube is a long game. If you're not making content around topics that you enjoy, then long term, there's a really good chance that you're going to get burned out, or that you're going to start dreading actually making the content that you're wanting to make. So finding something that you can do long term that you're actually interested in is the first thing that you have to consider. So the first place that you look when it comes to finding a niche is you want to look into what your personal interests are. So the reason for this is because YouTube is a long game, right? So if you're making content around things that you have interest in, then by default, you're staying on top of what is going on in that industry. By default, you know what people are buying and selling in that industry. By default, you love talking about the type of content that you create. By default, you're reading blogs and watching other YouTube channels and things like that around the content that you create. So it's kind of like a default thing that kind of just puts you automatically into the community that you're operating in, if you can build what it is that you're doing around things that you are actually enjoying or things that you're already into. Now, if you don't know, if you're like, you know what, well, I would like to do this, or I would like to do this, and I'm not really sure what it is that I'm into, one thing that you can do is survey your friend group, survey your family, right? Because we all have these different things. We think of ourselves one way, our families and friends think of us in another way. Like an example I like to give for this is, let's say that within your friend group, you're that person that every time somebody takes a vacation somewhere, they hit you up and they're like, hey, I'm getting ready to go to this particular place, and every time I go somewhere, you always give me the best advice on, where I can save money on plane tickets and things like that. So I'm getting ready to go here. So if you have the time, if you could help me put together, a nice travel plan on a budget, that would be fantastic. Like, if you're that person, then in that case, doing travel-related stuff is probably a good fit for you, because you're that person. People already know you within your friend group and your family as that person. So there's a good chance that might be a good fit for you, as long as it, of course, fits into your long-term goals and all of that stuff. So once you actually have defined what it is that you're wanting to do, what you want to do from there is you actually want to research the opportunities that you can pull from that. And again, this is all about supporting what it is that you're trying to do. This is all about supporting your hobby. This is all about supporting your efforts of what it is that you're doing on YouTube. Because again, cameras cost money. If you're going to hire people to help you, that costs money. All of this stuff costs money. So the realities of it are, as creators, we like to create because we like to create, right? We like to teach because we like to teach. We like to share because we like to share, all of that. So being able to build something into that can also help support that is it creates an awesome an awesome lifestyle. But what you want to do is you want to actually research the opportunities. You do this by, of course, researching similar channels. Now, when I say researching similar channels, what I mean by that is you want to go to like channels in your niche, right? Or the niche that you plan to get into. And you want to say, okay, what is it that they're doing to monetize this? Are they just doing sponsored videos? Because right out of the gate, I probably won't be able to do sponsored videos. Are they doing affiliate related things? I could probably do that out of the gate. Are they putting people on an email list and then marketing to them later through that? Is that something that they're doing? Kind of go to similar channels and try to deconstruct how it is that they're actually making money from their channel to make sure that it's something that you can actually do as a way to generate income. Now, in addition to that, you also want to look into affiliate opportunities. And by affiliate opportunities, I don't mean just Amazon. Amazon can be okay if you're sending a lot of traffic to Amazon, but also look into other things within your niche that you could possibly promote. And if you can find stuff that's recurring, then that's an even bigger bonus. So one thing on the recurring is anybody that is in the chat right now that has any type of creators watching their channel, TubeBuddy has an affiliate program, and you can get recurring payments from TubeBuddy. So basically, how that works is you set up a link with TubeBuddy inside of their affiliate program. You set up a link with TubeBuddy, and then when you refer people to TubeBuddy, if somebody makes a sale, then you get a commission for that sale. So let's say, as an example, somebody comes over and they sign up with TubeBuddy, right? Then if they sign up for the year package, then you're going to get that recurring income once a year from that year package. If they do a monthly package, then you're going to get that money every single month for your percentage of that part of the affiliate program. Andrew just dropped a link to it in the chat, so go and check that out if that's something that you're interested in. But without question, any type of recurring thing that you can build into what it is that you're doing on your channel can really, really bring you some big gains as far as income so that you can support your hobby is concerned. And especially if you're turning it into a business of some kind. Now, in addition to that, you also want to look into current products in the niche. Like, hey, are people selling merchandise in this niche? Are people selling merchandise? Are they selling other things? If I'm making food videos, are people selling recipes? Are they selling ebooks with their personal recipes in them? Are they selling pots and pans? Like what is it that people are doing on the product front on other channels as well? You also want to look for current services in the niche. Basically, if you have a niche that's service-based, again, like food, we'll use that one. If you have a food channel, then you can say, okay, well, what type of services can I provide? Can I do custom recipes for people? To where people would give me money? Can I consult people on how to do that? Can I build a training course or something like that around how I make food? Something along those lines so that you can tap into those opportunities as well. And of course, you also want to look into what it is that you can create personally. Now, in addition to that, another thing that you want to make sure that you look into when it goes into the niche is you want to look into what supporting things are within that niche. Like, how big is it? Right? Like, are there a lot of people operating in the niche? Are there a lot of blogs that maybe you can work things out with to where they'll post your content there if you recommend the blog from time to time, or you can do another type of deal with them? Maybe you can do guest posts where you embed your videos or something like that. Are there web forums? Are there a lot of Facebook groups around it? Are there subreddits that are around that particular topic of interest? If so, how big are they? So that gives you like a decent gauge on, hey, if I'm going to be moving into this, is it something that a lot of people are into so that it can be supported? And you can go micro niche. There doesn't have to be a ton of people in there, but it is good if you can find these outlets on these other places like Reddit and Facebook and things like that, so that you can embed yourself in the communities like I was talking about earlier. So once you have that part out of the way and you say, okay, you know what? I think I can monetize this. I think that based on the research, I think that I can, I think I can pull some income off of this. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe it'll be enough to help support the hobby. Maybe it'll be enough to where I can go full-time on YouTube, or to where I can go full-time into creating content for social media, and I can actually move into the whole influencer space. Maybe it's that much. Or maybe it's just enough so you can make a car payment, or maybe it's just enough so that you can get your lights paid for, you can get your camera paid for, or the software that you use to create your content or whatever, so that it's something that you can support instead of you having to put money into it and all of that. So once you have that and you've defined that and you've said, okay, yes, this is something that I can move into, the next thing I recommend is coming up with a big, long list of video ideas. And this sounds kind of crazy, but hear me out, okay? So basically, if you have the monetization side taken care of, you have the interest side taken care of, we're like, you know what? I enjoy making this type of stuff. I could do this for a long time. Check, right? You got that one out of the way. Okay, now this is something I can do for a long time. So I found out that I've researched it and I found out that I can monetize it. Check. You win, right? You got that one out of the way. Now you have to sit down and think about, okay, what are the next, let's say, 100 videos, 200 videos that I can actually make for this channel? And you want to sit down and you want to write down as many video ideas as you possibly can to make sure that even though you have the other sides of it, that you're actually going to be able to make the content to support what it is that you're moving into in that niche, right? So Zingcat says that he's terrible at planning ideas. I generally think them up on the way to the basement where I film. I live on the edge. Yeah, that's cool. But TubeBuddy actually can help you with the video ideas as a side note with their topic planner. But in addition to that, though, you want to make sure that you're coming up with as many video ideas as you possibly can. Like I said, 100, maybe 200. So then you can say, okay, you know what? I've got, 6 months or a year's worth of content already planned out. I'm good for a while, right? And then you can go in and do the keyword research on those particular topics to make sure they're things people are actually looking for and all of that, so that you can make sure that you can actually create all of the content that you're going to need to create in order to have a long-term sustainable channel on YouTube. Once you got that out of the way, then of course you can celebrate. You can go to the beach, throw your hands up in the air, because you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and you're going to have to get to work from there, because it does take work. Once you get those other research elements out of the way, which also take work, it is good and important for you to know that making content for the internet in general and managing your social media once it starts growing a little bit and all that stuff, it does take work. You might be able to do it yourself. You might need to pull in help because it can get to be a lot of work depending on how it is that you're structuring things. So just know that, go take that quick rest because you're definitely going to need to roll up your sleeves in order to really make something take off. Now, once you have the niche, you have all of that stuff put together, then how do you actually get money from what it is that you're doing? Like, what is it that you do? What are some ideas that you can do in order to actually get money from your channel? So I put this graphic together, basically sharing some of the common things that people do on YouTube. So I'm going to break all of these down for you. And as you can see up in the top left corner, if you're looking at the screen right now, up in the top left corner, I have YouTube ads there. The reason I have that there is because in most cases, unless you're getting tons of views on your channel, in most cases, YouTube ads end up being a pretty low piece of the pie. Again, unless you're just getting crazy amounts of views on your channel. If you're getting crazy amounts of views on your channel, then the YouTube ads can really add up. But if you are not getting a lot of views on your channel, then all of the other elements that I'm getting ready to talk about can definitely help you get a lot more money than what it is that you're currently getting on ads. Now, at the very top of this image, I have an email list. And the reason I have that is because all of the other things on the page feed into that email list. And the reason that I recommend an email list for anybody making content of any kind is because of a multitude of reasons. A few I'm going to give you right here are: one, if something happens to your YouTube channel, if something happens to your Facebook page and you lose both of those, you still want to be able to connect with your audience. Whatever it is that you end up doing, if you have to move to a different channel, if you have to go to a different Facebook channel, if something happens to YouTube or something happens to Facebook, a new platform that we think, hey, these outlets could never be taken over. Let's say something just comes out of the blue, sideswipes everybody. It's like the coolest thing we've ever seen, and everybody jumps on that, right? Then if you have an email list in place, that gives you the opportunity to let the people know that are into your content enough to hop on your email list. That lets those people know, hey, I'm over here now. You can find me over here. So then that way you don't have to start at the ground floor again and build everything up, because you've already got that, so that you can send people over to whatever it is that you are that you're doing. And yes, Andrew Can says ripvid.me. Absolutely, I would pour this out, but I'm inside, so I'm not going to do that. I was going to pour out a little coffee there for the outlet that went down. But yes, an email list is extremely important. And in addition to being able to connect with the people that are watching your videos on a regular basis off of platform, in addition to that, you can also send people emails when you upload videos. If you find offers that you think would be a good fit for your audience, you can send emails about those offers. You can also add that email list as an asset when you're trying to work on any type of brand deals with your channel as well, saying, hey, you know what? Not only am I going to put you on my channel that's getting X amount of views, not only am I going to put you on my Facebook page that's also getting X amount of views, not only am I going to tweet you and put you on Instagram, but I also have an email account or an email list with a bunch of people as well. So the next thing on the list, if you go to the right, is services. Now, like I mentioned before, depending on the type of content you make, the services may or may not be something that you can offer. If you can, then services can actually stack up pretty quick. A good example of this is, let's say that you're doing content where you're showing, how to build websites, how to code apps, like that kind of stuff. One of the things that you can do is you can offer people, you can say, hey, not only do I show you how to do this on my channel, but I actually can also work with you one-on-one and actually teach you how to do this stuff, so I can answer your specific questions instead of you just having to rely on the blanket info that I'm sharing, right? So then that way you can work one-on-one with the people that like and enjoy the way that you teach. Another place is, like I mentioned earlier, is the merchandise. Now, you can use Spreadshirt for this. You can use Teespring for this, other places, but those are common ones. You can actually connect Spreadshirt directly to your YouTube account. But basically with merchandise, a lot of people think of merchandise as in, hey, I'm just going to put my logo on there and just have people wear my logo around. That's cool. You can definitely do that. But if you're operating within a niche, another thing that you can do is you can actually go to my channel page. Just got a link to it down in the description. Look at my store. I've just got a handful of shirts in there to where basically it's just stuff that YouTubers would relate to, right? So you could do something like that around your niche to where, you create t-shirts based on, these are things that people in my niche would find funny, or these are things that people in my niche would connect with. So I'm going to make, t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, phone cases, all that stuff based around the things that they are interested in. Brian G. Johnson in the house. What is going on, my friend? Nice to see you. In addition to that, we also have crowdfunding, which now that Brian G. Johnson's in the house, he actually has a fantastic thing with crowdfunding. He actually has a video about this, I think, inside of his Patreon. So you might want to go check that out. But basically what crowdfunding is places like Patreon, to where the people that are into your content can donate to what it is that you're doing. You can offer rewards in return. You can offer it just, hey, help support the cause, right? And go that route to where people just donate to it. But basically with the crowdfunding, with things like Patreon, what it does is it allows the people that are watching your content and enjoy your content enough to contribute to what it is that you're doing in return for you making that content. So it's like, hey, I like this content. I'm going to give this person $3 a month or $5 a month or $50 or $100, depending on, what it is that they're offering. But, I'm going to give this person a few bucks a month as a thank you or whatever to support what it is that they're doing. Some people are making a killing on Patreon. Some people are doing okay. But it's definitely something that you can look into to help you support your hobby or your business here on YouTube. Now, to the left of that, we have, with the light bulb icon, we have your products. And with your products, with this also can kind of fall on merch. But if you are in the training space at all and you're doing any type of training material where you're teaching people how to do Photoshop, you're teaching people how to do coding, you're teaching people how to make apps, you're teaching people anything, how to present on stage, you're teaching people how to live stream, like whatever it is, creating your own products around that, like a course, or, hey, I made this ebook that you can download for X amount or whatever. All of that stuff can also be a great resource and a surprisingly good income stream for your channel as well. Of course, we also have up to the left there just a little bit, we also have the affiliate side of things. And with the affiliate side of things, basically what that means is, like I was saying, like I was saying before about the TubeBuddy affiliate program, just like that, right? So basically what it is you find things in your niche that you think that your audience would be interested in, and then you basically promote those products through your channel through affiliate links. So if somebody clicks on that link, they go and they make a purchase, then you actually get a commission for that. Now, a couple things that you can do, you can go to Amazon and you can sign up for their partner program. And if somebody clicks on an Amazon link, if they buy anything on Amazon within 24 hours, you get a cut, which is pretty cool. But you need to send, in most cases, a lot of traffic there to really make that worth it. But it adds up, though. In addition to that, like I said before, you also have the TubeBuddy side, where they basically have something that if it's a good fit for your audience, then you can sign up and then you get the recurring income, and that's where things can really start to swell because it just starts stacking on top of each other instead of you relying on those one-time sales. Oh, I got my sales are way down this month. That's fine because you still have those recurring payments coming in. Now, the next one up on top of the affiliate, as you can see, that is sponsorships. That's basically to where people pay you to promote their product or service inside of your video. To really promote anything it is that they want you to promote inside of your video via a dedicated video, via a shout out, via a product placement, something like that. But basically to where a company pays you for your content or pays you to put what it is that they do inside of your content. So I hope you found that helpful in terms of finding a niche. Now we're going to get into and monetizing it. Now we're going to get into the Q&A portion of this stream. So before we get into that, I want to go ahead and hop in here real quick and say what is going on again to Brian G. Johnson. I want to say what's up to Jazzy Puppet, Scott Kovac in the house. What is going on? Eileen Smith, nice to see you in here as well as Scott Kovac and Black Magic Film Studios. Now, one thing here, just so you know, in addition to the affiliate links, a very important thing before we get into the Q&A that I didn't mention a second ago that I want to mention now is if you are using affiliate links in your descriptions, you need to go and you need to put an FTC disclaimer in your description, which basically lets people know that if they end up clicking on one of those links and they make a purchase, that you're going to get a commission. That's a requirement. That's a legal requirement. So make sure that you go and do that. A lot of people don't know that that's necessary, but it is absolutely necessary to put an FTC disclaimer in your descriptions. So make sure you go and do that because you want to keep yourself safe. You don't want to lose what you've built up or cause any types of problems for yourself. So now we are going to get into the thing. Andrew, if you could send me a link to the doc here real quick. You know what? I actually see it right here. Let me see if I can get on the inside of this. And I believe I can. Yep, we're good. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so we are going to get into the Q&A part of this show, which is something that people enjoy because I can give you customized information, customized tips based on what it is that you are asking. So let me resize this window here so I can get everything lined up all nice and pretty, and then we are going to get into that. So question number one is from DLRP fans. They say, a niche channel also means a slower growth of subscribers, ? Absolutely not. It does not by any means mean a slower growth of subscribers. Here's the thing that you got to keep in mind. I'm not sure if you were here earlier for the part where I was showing that with a niche, the traffic flows. Without a niche, the traffic goes. When you are making niche content, what you're doing is you're creating an entire outlet based around the interests of the people that are into your content or the people that have that particular interest. So if they come to your channel and you have a bunch of content that is something that they are interested in, then they're more likely to subscribe than if not. So by having a niche, you're actually increasing your chances of subscribers than you are if you are not operating within a niche. Let's see here. This is from Paint with Mark. Paint says, I do learn to paint videos, but I find it hard to be found. Yeah, so in your case, that community involvement is a fantastic place to start. In addition to that, I would also reach out to other people in your niche, other people that do any type of art-related videos, and see if you can do collaborations there to get traffic going back and forth. And of course, I'm not sure how you're optimizing your content, but you also want to make sure that if you're doing learn to paint videos, you're teaching people how to paint, then you have the jackpot as far as it being relatively easy to make videos around what people are actually looking for in search, so that you can optimize your content around what it is that people are looking for. You can optimize your metadata around specific keyword phrases that people are searching for, so that you can get discovered via search to help you get your channel off of the ground. So for you specifically, look into, if you're not already, look into SEO, search engine optimization, and how it applies to YouTube. And Brian G. Johnson makes some great videos on this. Video Influencers makes great videos on this. I have some videos on this. Daryl Eves has some video on this. Here on TubeBuddy, they have some videos on this. So look around YouTube. Just Google, how to rank videos on YouTube or something like that, and then that information is going to come up that goes a little bit more in depth on how to do that. Okay, let's see here. Instrumental Motion asks, this is a long one. Instrumental Motion asks, I mostly film multicam live concert performances. That's cool. I have been trying to decide if I should make multiple channels to really target my different niche music genre markets, or if I should just keep it all on one channel. I fear that if a bluegrass fan goes to my channel and watches one of those videos, and then the next video that plays is one from a band that is more progressive rock, they're leaving my channel. Would it be worth it to create secondary channels for each one of my separate niche music genres? Yes. I would personally recommend that you create separate channels for those, and let me tell you why. If you go and you look for I think it's like trap music as an example, and you go and you look at, gosh, what's the name of their channel? I can't remember the name of the actual channel. I think it's Trap Nation. But they've done that, and they've had great success with it, to where basically they have, like their Trap Nation, they have Rap Nation, they have Rock Nation, and they've broken it down that way for that reason, so that basically when people go there, everything that's on that channel is something that they're interested in. And because of that, they can just click on a playlist, and they can sit there and they can just have the music playing in the background, all based on what it is that they're interested in, or the type of music that they're interested in. So yeah, in your case, I would experiment with going with 2, just to make sure that you can manage both of them. I'm not sure how big your channel is, but to make sure that you can manage both of them and build. Widen it out as the channels grow, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to make 10 different channels and then trying to manage that, because if they all end up doing well right out of the gate, then that might be a lot to bite off, so to speak. Scott asks, I'm a published author of children's books. That's cool. This is my niche as a writer, but I do not know how to incorporate this into my channel. That is geared towards helping others by sharing my own life experiences. Yeah, so in your case, right, if you're trying to drive, for you, right, the first thing that you have to think about is, what is it that I'm actually trying to accomplish with my channel, right? So if you have a channel that's geared towards helping others by sharing your own life experiences, but you're a published author for children's books, which is your profession, then in that case you have to say, okay, well, on my channel, am I trying to help others by sharing my own life experiences, or am I trying to sell books, right? So if you're trying to sell books, then you have to say, okay, well, if I'm trying to sell books, then maybe it would be a better fit to children. If I'm trying to sell children's books, maybe it would be a better fit for me to make children's content so that I could sell my books. But if you're trying to help others by sharing your own life experiences, then of course that's definitely the way that you want to go. But as far as marrying the two of them, the best thing that I can recommend for you is to, from time to time, let people know that you also make children's books. So, you're doing your normal content, you're building your audience, you're building your fans, all that stuff. Let people know. Yeah, hey, so I'm working on my children's book right now. If you're sharing your own life experiences, I'm going to guess that's vlog-related stuff. So it's, hey, I'm working on this next book right here. Just in case you don't know, I've got these other 3 children's books that I've done. They're available on Amazon. That's actually what I do for work, and explain your whole backstory that way as far as what it is for work, or that you do for work in those children's books. And another way that you can do this as well is you can do this in your channel trailer. So if you have a channel to where you're doing vlog style content, sharing your life experiences with others, then you can work that into your channel trailer, just where you make it part of your backstory. And you can say, okay, on my channel, you know, this is the type of content that I make, but here's a little bit about me. And then you tell your story, and during your story, you mention that you also make children's content, or not children's content, but that you also make children's books as well. And in that particular video, you can go ahead and put links, you know, Amazon links or whatever, to the books that you have if they're available on Amazon. So so that's what I would recommend. I would mention it in your trailer, and I would mention as part of your backstory, and I would also mention it from time to time in your videos, so that you can, you know, so that you can let people know here and there for the sake of spreading awareness that that is what you do professionally. Jay the Kid asks, once you start with a niche and it dies, is it okay to change it? That's part of researching it, right? That's part of going into a long-term sustainable niche. Now, with asking that question, I'm going to guess that maybe you're making gaming content and you're saying, okay, well, I started out in GTA, but now I'm going to move into like COD instead, or something along those lines. In that particular case, then you're kind of forced. And really, at the end of the day, if you're just not into it anymore, then it makes sense to move, because you want to think of your own well-being first, right? So if you start in one thing and that one thing either dies or it doesn't serve you personally anymore, yeah, move on, change it, change the direction that you're going in. Of course, it can hurt. You know, it can hurt your channel because your channel was making this type of content and everybody subscribed for that, and they've come to know you as that. And then all of a sudden you take that same channel and then you move it into this type of content. Then if it doesn't relatively fit, then yeah, you're probably going to lose a nice amount of people on that. However, if you can find a way to work it in with what it is that you're currently doing, like if you were doing gaming content as an example, if you were doing gaming content, you said, okay, well, I was doing GTA, but now I'm going to move into COD. So then what you would do is you would just put your GTA stuff into playlists that support GTA, and then you would move your current stuff, your COD stuff, to the top of your channel page, and then you would focus all of your efforts on COD, but you would still have your GTA stuff available on your channel page, but it would be encompassed around gaming, right? So you're still under that umbrella of gaming. So there's a good chance, not everybody, of course, as you know, if you're a gamer, but, there's a good chance that people that come in and they watch the GTA content, there's a good chance that, there's a nice crossover of people that play GTA and they play COD, as an example. So, so I would definitely, man, if you're gaming, and you say it exactly in here, Jay, so I'm guessing that is what you're doing then. So, yeah, so in that case, man, go whatever direction, to play whatever it is that you want to play, but because you're under the gaming umbrella, so to speak, then you're fine. Just organize everything in a way and promote things in a way that let people know that you're now moving into that particular game. Next up on the list, VCG Construction asks how to reach a wider audience besides the niche. So you're saying like just how to go wide, right? One thing that's really powerful, and this is why I'm a strong advocate for niching your content. One thing to keep in mind is it's a lot more powerful to be a lot easier too, to be a big fish in a small pond than it is to be a small fish in a big pond, right? Because like if you are trying to reach a wider audience, you can definitely make content for that. You can do prank stuff, you can do comedy stuff, you can do entertainment stuff, things like that. But if you are trying to do stuff like your name here is VCG Construction, so because of that, I'm guessing that you're maybe making stuff around the construction niche. So in your case, it's like if you think of it in terms of like subscriber counts or view counts, right? This is where you have to deconstruct what it is that you're actually trying to do. Like, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish with my channel, and is it necessary for me to try to reach a wider audience, or is it best that I go specific, right? Because you're in construction, so in your case, it makes sense, right? If you're doing VCG construction stuff, it makes sense that you operate within that, and all of your content is within that, right? So if you branch out, the only way to branch out with that, if it's construction, as long as the VCG doesn't stand for something else that I'm misunderstanding, but if it's construction, instead of trying to go and say, hey, I want to reach 1 million people tomorrow, then maybe it's best to focus on the people that are actually going to generate any type of results that you're trying to get from building a channel around construction. if that makes any sense. Now, one thing that you could do in your case, because you're doing construction, is if you are showing people like how to build stuff, or if you're highlighting different builds or something like that, then one thing that you could do is, let's say that you do residential focused or you're doing business focused, you could go the other way and say, okay, well, right now I'm doing residential construction. I'm focusing everything on residential. So I'm also going to open it up a bit, and I'm going to go for commercial construction, which basically would open you up to another side of the industry. But just like the gaming situation, you're still under the umbrella, so to speak, of still doing construction. So, and you can also break that down even further. You can specialize in terms of, specific DIY things as well. So maybe I'm not showing you how to actually build something related to your house, but maybe I'm going to show you how to make something instead. So instead of, building, putting how to put plaster on a wall, and I'm just spitballing here on the plaster thing, but instead of doing how to put plaster on a wall, maybe you could make something along the lines of, how to build a, I don't know. Yeah, on the construction side, I'm not sure, but basically it would be like how to make something else that's not necessarily construction related, but it still falls under the category of DIY for people that are into that type of content. Next up, Andrew Can. Nice, Andrew. Okay, Andrew says, what are your thoughts on the Amazon affiliate program? What about programs like kit.com? Generally curious. Also, niche. Yeah. So the niche thing, on dictionary.com, they actually have niche and niche. So I always have fun with that one. But yeah, the thoughts on the Amazon affiliate program, I think it's good. I think that they, it's a cool service that they actually, instead of just making people buy the thing that you're trying to buy, they give you 24 hours for them to buy anything. That can add up, pretty nice. But like kit.com and places like that, absolutely. At the end of the day, it comes down to, what services are out there, what affiliate programs are out there that support what it is that I'm doing on the channel. Like what is it that I'm going to get the best results out of? Like in your case, Andrew, if you're recommending like film gear, right, then I would look at it and say, okay, well, according to my stats in Amazon, I'm sending X amount of people here, and that is generating X amount of conversion. It's generating X amount of dollars. And when I send people to kit.com, then with a similar amount of traffic, then kit.com is generating X amount of income. It's generating X amount of conversion as well. And compare the two and see which one performs best for you based on how your audience is interacting with the links that you're sending them to. Next up on the list, Vac Nick asks, what made you want to create TubeBuddy? I did not create TubeBuddy. That is not, I'm not a product person. I'm not a developer at TubeBuddy. I'm an advocate for TubeBuddy, and I use TubeBuddy like a maniac, and I stream here on TubeBuddy, and I always recommend TubeBuddy to everybody, but I am definitely not one of the developers over at TubeBuddy. Unfortunately, because I don't know how to develop, like that kind of stuff. I wish I did, but I don't. Let's see here. Okay, Monica's Kitchen related to cooking and cleaning. That's a channel name. Woo! Okay, so the question is, I've been receiving mails regarding increasing views or managing your account. Is it helpful, or how to check the authenticity of those? Why with no video tags, channels are still getting a lot of views with subs less than 1K? Okay, so two questions. One, so we'll break it down into two parts. One, with those emails that are telling you that they're going to increase views, I would avoid those like the plague. So that's, probably just dated myself there as far as age is concerned, because that's a saying from where I came from. But yeah, I would definitely try to avoid those because the way that you're actually going to end up getting views on your channel is by doing the things within the platform or working with legitimate, through legitimate outlets like, bloggers and, things like that, social media and all of that, and internally in the platform. Don't use ever, anybody in the chat, do not ever use a service that is just going to send you views, right? You can actually lose your account if YouTube finds out that you're doing that. Same thing with subscribers. You can also lose your account if YouTube finds out that you're doing that. And all the subscribers that you pay for, they're going to end up getting taken off over time as YouTube kills all of those fake bot accounts. So there's that. Now, why with no video tags, channels are still getting a lot of views with less subs, or with subs less than 1,000? The reason for that is because they have managed to get into the suggested videos of other channels, and they've also managed to get into the home pages of other channels. So SEO helps get a channel off of the ground, right? But channels can also get off the ground by getting put into suggested and all that stuff, and people clicking on those videos, and they stay on those videos, and they engage well with those videos in terms of watch time and in terms of actual engagement, sharing, putting on playlists and all that stuff. So because of that, YouTube keeps promoting those videos. So like if you put out a video right now and it gets let's say you get like a 90 something percentage rate on your audience retention, and people are leaving lots of comments, and people are sharing it, and people are adding it to playlists, and people are coming back and watching that video again, things like that, then YouTube's going to keep promoting that video, and that video is going to do well, regardless if you have tags in it or if it's optimized for search or not. That's how channels, I call them like anomaly channels, that's how they get off the ground so fast in some cases, is because they'll have videos like that, right, to where like the content that they're creating, people just respond to it, they resonate, and because of that, they blow up quick. Next up on the list, okay, Detazism asks, Juan Lopez Vlogs, what's going on, man? Nice to see you in here. I'd like to start an animation channel about animals. Should I focus on the information or the graphics? The people are there for the information and the graphics. So if you can manage the two, then I would definitely do that. But you want to think about, hey, what is it? Do you like to do a lot of edits, or do you like to research, right? What is it that you personally like to spend the most time on? And then focus on making that the main thing that you do, and then the other thing is the secondary. But I would just try to make a marriage between the two, and use your retention reports too, to where you say, okay, well, the information I'm sharing is solid, and people are watching my videos for here, but for whatever reason in this particular spot, a lot of people are leaving in my audience retention reports. So because of that, I need to see what's going on. Am I not using enough graphics? Am I making things too flashy? Am I doing too much? Or am I doing too little? Maybe in the next video I make, I need to maybe keep an eye on that portion of the video where I kind of let the graphics go a little bit, and maybe add a little bit more there and see if that helps pull people through, and things like that. So experimentation is the best answer for that. But really, I would focus more on what it is that you enjoy doing, and then move the other one to the secondary. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead if that one didn't get. There we go. Okay, Babyzone says, I was wondering if changing the channel name impacts negatively the visibility of your videos in the algorithm on YouTube. Take into account it's a small channel and not a big one, so not a lot of subs. No, I wouldn't worry about that right now. Are you changing the channel name, or are you trying to have them change the URL, or are you just getting the custom URL? Like I'm not sure how far along you are there, but if you're just changing the display name and you're not messing with the URL at all, then yeah, you're fine. You're nothing to worry about there. The only thing you're hurting there is if you have people that are used to looking for that name, then you're going to hurt the people that, like, they're going to have a harder time finding you if you change your name. Because you might come up in search, but they won't recognize it, and they won't click in it, and they won't come in. So you might hurt yourself that way. But as far as, the algorithm is concerned, I think you'll be fine on that one. Cardzilla says, hey, Nick, can a demonetized video confirmed after review negatively affect the channel? Should I delete a demonetized video? Can deleting videos affect the channel's momentum? Thanks, Nick. Okay, deleting videos, you actually take away watch time when you do that, so technically, yes. Deleting the videos can technically mess with your momentum, because you're basically deleting watch time when you do that. As far as the demonetized video is concerned, if you are demonetized and you did not win that, that's not going to negatively affect the channel unless you actually get like a copyright strike or something like that. But with what they're doing right now with the demonetization, no, it doesn't. It's not going to have a negative effect on the channel, unless you're making the type of content on a regular basis that is getting demonetized because it's content that isn't family friendly, or that it's like threatening, or like whatever, the stuff that YouTube doesn't want people to do. If it's that type of content, then yes. But as long as it's like normal content, but for whatever reason they just lost it. I lost one recently as well, on one of mine, because it was about making money, and because of that, I lost the dispute. But it there's no negative effect from that, or not a dispute, but they basically demonetized it. I put it out for review, and they said, we're still not gonna let you monetize this video, and there was no harm done. Ankit Motivation and Music. Can we make 2 channels for 2 niches? Absolutely, you can. Yes. Damien Live. How do you get more people to watch and see your live streams on YouTube Gaming? Thank you for answering. I greatly appreciate it, by the way. Okay. So one thing that you want to make sure that you're doing, like a lot of people will title their live streams and they'll say, okay, well, hey, I'm live now is the name of the live stream or something like that. You want to optimize your live streams just like you would optimize a video for search, right? So basically you want to make sure that your title is something that people are going to be looking for. You want to make sure that you have that title or the phrase that you're actually trying to put yourself up for. You want to make sure that you have that in the top part of your description. And you also, a lot of people overlook this part. When you're live streaming, and what's funny is I actually forgot to do it here, Andrew. I'm not sure if you did or not. But when you are live streaming, you can also go in before you actually go live. On the live streaming page, you'll go down to your advanced settings and you click on that. And then you can go in and you can actually, once you click advanced, then you can click on the basic info tab and it'll show you your tags. So when you see those tags, then you can actually go in and optimize your tags as well. So you can literally optimize your entire video, all aspects of it, for search. So that while you're live, that people will be able to discover you that way. And of course, getting more people to watch, in addition to that, I would also, me personally, if I was doing gaming content, there's also groups on Twitter that you might want to connect with, people that actually promote gamer groups or gaming streams. So basically what it is they have like a whole network set up to where if you are live streaming and you're doing gaming content, you can actually like at them, right? You at those channels and then they retweet your stuff into their feed so other gamers can see, can come and watch your stream also. And of course, any type of social media promotion. Zizo List says, why my videos don't reach subscribers? Most likely because you either A, are not providing enough value for the people that are watching the content. B, you're not being discovered in terms of anywhere in search or you're not being suggested anywhere. C, people that come and watch your videos are probably, if you're not gaining any subscribers at all, then in that case, then people are probably not actually watching your videos for longer periods of time, which means that YouTube isn't promoting it much, which means, if at all, which means that people aren't going to come in to be able to subscribe to your videos. Now, if you mean why they don't reach subscribers in terms of YouTube promoting to your subscribers specifically, that's most likely because maybe when you release your video, the people that it does initially send it to doesn't respond to that content. They don't engage with that content enough via watch time in order for YouTube to keep sending it out to more and more of your subscriber base. They send them content that they're reacting to instead of your content. Susan Patlak asks, not sure what type of thumbnail to use. Use thumbnails. I'm not sure what type of content you make there, Susan. But use thumbnails. If you are a personality channel and you're on camera in any way, shape, or form, I recommend putting you in the thumbnail so that people can recognize you, your current subscribers, and because people respond to faces because we're people, right? So I would put you in your thumbnail. If you are making like food content, as an example, then I would definitely make sure you have food in there. Just think what's relevant to the type of content I'm making and put that in your thumbnail. And another thing that can help you with that is whatever type of content it is that you are making, go do a search on YouTube and see what, hey, what are other people doing that are doing here? What are the expectations within the industry that I'm operating in, things that people are looking for and that they're responding to, and then make thumbnails like that. The Dad Zach, what's going on, man? Nice to see you in here. Let's see here. Next up is Monica's Kitchen. If some other channel uses my popular video showing how to stop that, does copyright helps in stopping this thing, and how can it be done? If possible, do reply. Okay, so if somebody's using your content and it's not fair use, basically meaning they haven't remixed it, they haven't made a compilation out of it or something like that, then you can submit what's called a DMCA notice. And that DMCA notice, it's Digital Millennium Copyright Act is what DMCA stands for. And you can do that. Just go to Google right now and type in how to file a DMCA with YouTube, and then you'll have tons of information come up with that. But make sure that it's legitimate, that that is your content. You have rights to everything within that content, because what you're doing when you submit that DMCA claim is you are that's basically like a legal thing. So if it's not legitimate, then it can blow back on you. You can actually get into a lot of trouble for submitting claims that are not legitimate. Alrighty. Let me do a check here. Okay. So I'm going to. I have a podcast that I'm getting ready to go on. It's a live podcast. If you, you know what, I'm actually not going to do that because it's Facebook. But basically, I have a live podcast that I'm getting ready to go on. So I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you to Andrew Can for moderating the chat. I want to say thanks to everybody that's been hanging out in here. I hope that I got. I hope that I got to your question. I actually did 17 of 17. In the list here, so I believe that I did get everybody. So I hope you learned something here today. If you enjoyed this stream, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you share it with other people in Facebook, maybe on your Facebook page, or go ahead and tweet it so that other people can get the information on the replay as well. And again, I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you learned something out of all the stuff that I shared here today. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time. And if you want to learn more from me, learn more about me, there's links to my stuff, my channel down in the description below. My name is Nick Nimmin. I help YouTubers grow their channels, make videos, and all types of other YouTube-related stuff. So definitely head over there and check me out and subscribe if you want to learn how to make videos and all types of other YouTube-related stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.